cedar willow, which is extremely beautiful. It's like cotton wool, but softer even, really soft. And there's lots of it here in the trees. Now, as you know, one of the willows in Ireland is known commonly as the osier, and it's actually very interesting because it's associated with a god which is found all across the Middle East, Egypt, European, pan-European, and that's Osiris, who he may or may not have started off as an Egyptian god, but his cult seems to be at least 6,500, maybe 7,000 years old. And according to legend, Osiris was placed in a wooden coffin and floated among the reeds after his brother Set and 72 villains betrayed him and chopped him into 72 pieces, and they put him into this coffin, which was put into the river Nile or other rivers, Euphrates, it depends. There's lots of different stories because his cult even turns up in Europe, but according to legend he floated downriver out to sea and somehow ended up in a reed marsh in the top of an osier after a flood, on the top of one of these willow trees near the city of Byblos. And the city of Byblos is interesting because the word book or like biblio, and words like Bible come from Byblos, which is the city, and Byblos was famous for the production of paper, and it was actually, I think, the main part of the ancient world where paper was produced. So libraries actually have a relationship with willow trees because Osiris turned up in Byblos, where his coffin did, in the top of a willow tree, which is why we have the word osier, which comes from Osiris. But of course, Osiris was a god who was resurrected from death. His wife put him back together again, basically, and his wife was Isis, and she put him back together again, and he was sort of restored to life, but he became god of the underworld. He's associated with the sun. He's meant to die at the summer solstice, and or actually he's born at the summer solstice. His brother Set is meant to be born in the winter solstice. And Osiris and Set are kind of two faces of the same god. It's kind of a dual god. But it's interesting because this very ancient cult is actually associated with libraries and the city of Byblos, and the word bibliography, anything biblio, and of course Bible, which is a collection of books, all derived from the city of Byblos. And we can't be 100% sure what the original name was, term, because the city of Byblos was very ancient. It was even ancient by, I think, 2000 BC. It had already had its heyday, but it was still really important for the production of paper all around the world, because there was a lot of trade going on in the world, and even paper in Ireland. They found Egyptian paper and Middle Eastern paper in holy books, and including one a few years ago found in a bog buried with the scriptures written on it. So it goes back a long way, all the way probably up until the Middle Ages, and even then it seems that paper was still coming from Byblos or areas around there. It's amazing, and not bad when you consider that the god was possibly 7,000, maybe even way more, way older than that, and his name has come to be associated with a common tree in Ireland, this beautiful osier.